because you all know what it's like to live in your neighborhood. You all know what it's like to see, you know, people struggling, and there are a lot of folks struggling out there, right? We all know that. We all feel that, all the things that have happened over these past, how many years, 6-8 years, right? So we need to work together. I wanted to point out one thing and give kudos to some folks in the room here, because we've been working on this for 2 years now. Miss Sharon Evans over here, Ms. Portillo, who was up here a little bit, Betty Torres, who was in the back, the LA EDC team, Armand and Gioma and Charles, and all the folks back at the office, and all of our committee members, our steering committee members, affinity leads, cable partner leads. These are the folks that are trying to connect all of this to you, to your organizations, to your communities. So please give them a round of applause.
Final words. Education, as we know, is the foundation, and I think it's really critical and important, as mentioned here several times, in education to be able to serve. And I think it's really important within our community to really highlight how important education is. And I say that because as an educator for many decades, I would often ask people of color and others who were much older than me, much more mature, and it was always the question of what's most important? What's most important in your life? And this would be a 90-year-old person, 85. It was like education. And I think because it's so important that we need to do all things to be able to get it and achieve it and work together in doing so. And it means to serve, it means to give back. As parents at those school sites, to serve not only your family, but the next kid's family. I was a coach for many years. I was that parent for many of our kids. I was driving folks, picking up folks. I was, and that's what it is about being in a community of Black and brown, is to be able to serve one another, not to turn your back and say, I ain't helping you, I don't know, but to celebrate each other, because I think often that's not the case. And we need to celebrate each other a little bit more than we do within our communities and give back. I mean, that's why I'm back at Dorsey. I was at Dorsey for 25 years and been in this community, and why my kids go to school down the street at Baldwin. I'm going to give a plug to Baldwin. In Baldwin, the demographics have changed in that community. It's not all brown and it's not all Black. The demographics have changed, and people within that community are seeing what it is to be a part of a community like that and the family unit that it brings. And so I want to say that as in education, to continue to strive for it, to continue to push our younger students to understand the value in it. And it's not everyone going to college, that's not what I'm saying. But to get the basics of reading with our children when they're younger, because that's something that's not happening in every household. Fortunately, we had the pandemic. We put a screen in their hand and we're like, you good, you quiet, you good, you all right? And that's not beneficial in anyone's community, let alone our community. And so I want to encourage those to really make the investment in education and in the lives of those around you in your community to help out. You know a single mom is there. Do you need help picking up yours, dropping yours off? So that's important in education, and to make sure that our community continues to thrive. And there are going to be success stories in those communities from those schools, and we have to believe that because we're a part of that solution.
Appreciate you. I want to just emphasize something that I heard from all of you in different ways. So one of the things, if you come from our communities, from an early age, you are encouraged to be independent, right? You can do it yourself. You can handle your own, right? And it's a way in which that you get measured as you get older. My invitation to you, especially given some of the scale and some of the opportunities that we talked about tonight, is to start to think about how you can become interdependent, right? So I'm not taking anything away from your independence and just saying that there's some other people in the room that got their own magic. And if you can figure out how to properly assess who might make a great partner, who can collaborate with you because they're working in the same space, share the same passions, you might be able to do, 10 times the stuff with twice the help. Right? So I'm going to leave it there with the panel. Thank you so much for sharing. We got one more thing to do. You guys are we have one guest that's waiting online that I wanted to bring in and talk to you just for a couple of minutes before we go to meal. And I also want to encourage you to fill out your surveys because I think that's how you get your meal tickets. Is that how it works? Yeah, so make sure you fill out your survey because I don't want you just looking at the food, right? So there we go.
True Mercy. True Mercy. Drew. That's Drew. Local Drew. Local
Can you
Drew.
hear me? Wave if you can hear me. I think I saw him. Drew, can you hear me? Wave. Okay, here we go. All right. Can you introduce yourself? Let's see if we can get that audio. So we got one more guest. So don't be so quick to move. Drew, can you introduce yourself? So sorry. You can hear us. We can't hear you.
But we can see you.
Put your microphone on.
Okay, well, let him know we saw him. Yeah, let him know that we saw him. Yeah. Yeah.
So what we're going to try to do, Drew, is work on our audio. We''t let people eat for now and then bring it back.
After dinner. After dinner. After dinner.
Is that all right? Your screen is frozen too. That's all right. That's what we do.